and fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us today for our initial due diligence on eBay Inc., ticker symbol EBAY. This due diligence is in direct response to a question from one of our Discord members, Spacula, asking if this was something we should add to the bullpen for a long-term ad. And so to respond to our Discord member, we're going to do our initial due diligence on eBay and see if we can answer those questions for him and also all of you, our fellow BeachBum traders. So you should be able to find a link to our Discord in the description box below. And as you can see, if you would like us to do due diligence on some company, a stock symbol, a ticker symbol, you can post a question or a request in our Discord, and we'll do what we can to respond to that. So let's get started. We'll do our standard initial due diligence on eBay and see if we can answer this question: is eBay a stock to buy now? So if you're not familiar with eBay, which I'm sure you all are, it's a consumer cyclical internet retail company. They have a marketplace platform, connect buyers and sellers. It's got an online marketplace at ebay.com. They've got a mobile app, online and offline channels, including retailers, distributors, liquidators, import-export, etc. It was founded in 1995 in San Jose, California. And I remember when eBay was initially launched, and if you stick around to the end of the video, I will tell you that story. I've been doing business on the internet since essentially before they started calling it the internet. And I remember when they came out with eBay, and I was working with a number of small and medium-sized business entrepreneurs, internet marketers, etc. on the internet, and I'll tell you that story of what we thought of eBay when it first came out. And then also we'll look at what do we think eBay's a buy now? What do we think, is it a long-term investment, good for a swing trade, what? So we'll take a look and we'll get started. Okay, let's take a quick look at eBay's homepage, ebayinc.com. You can find the link to their homepage in the description box below. We can see their headline: as we connect people and build communities to create economic opportunity for all. We see they've got a company site, stories, impact, tech, investors, careers. So again, this is their homepage, not really their store platform page, which is separate. We see some of their headlines. They've got a new board. They've got some headlines about a new way for calculating re-commerce benefits, diversity, sellers, spotlight, so protocols, Forbes, responsible business, and they're hiring. So that's kind of an overview of their homepage. Now we'll dig in and do our due diligence. Again, we'll look at it from both a company standpoint and a stock standpoint to see, is eBay a stock we want to buy now? What type of trade? Is it a good for a swing trade, long-term investment, etc.? So let's get started with our due diligence. The content of this video was produced by BeachBum Trading. We hope you will choose to also join us in the BeachBum Trading community and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit us at our homepage at beachbumtrading.com, the bum without the U. Similarly on Twitter, BeachBum Trading, bum without the U. On Facebook and in our BeachBum Trading Facebook group. Please follow us on Pinterest and on Instagram. All of the links to our social media sites will be included in the description box below, and we hope you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Thank you. Okay, let's do our due diligence for eBay Inc., ticker symbol in ChartMill. I'll leave the direct link to the profile for eBay in ChartMill in the description box below. This is their profile page. We can see at a high level their technical analysis rating is 0, so very poor. Current setup as of June 3rd is 2 out of 5. So again, the current setup is poor. We can see a brief look at the chart. We'll look in more detail in a minute. We can see it's below its moving averages. It's been declining. It's tested a couple resistance lines and broken down, so we can see it's definitely in a downtrend. We can see the fundamental analysis rating is 2, 2.5, so just right in the middle. Valuation 2 out of 5, so poor. Profitability is 4 out of 5, so it's positive. Growth 2 out of 5, negative. Health 2.5, so average, and it's a 1.5 on a dividend. So we see the overall earnings, etc. profile. Operates as an e-commerce company. They're headquartered in California. You see, I'm sure most people are familiar with eBay, and we will have looked at their homepage, etc. You can see they do have some international business, etc. Okay, let's look at their chart in the stock chart tab on ChartMill in a little bit more detail. Again, the daily chart, we can see it's below both its 200 and its 50-day moving average. We can see where it's bounced off those resistance lines and broken down. We can see a trend line that's also bounced off of that resistance line and broken down. So we can see it's definitely on a downtrend. If we zoom out a little bit, again, we can see has been in decline for quite some time. Looks like it recently just bounced up, but it tested that moving average, and it looks like it's failing at that moving average, and we can see that downturn trend line meeting the moving average. So there's kind of a critical point right there. We can see a relative upside from about 48 to 80 something, and we'll look at the detailed numbers in FinViz, but we can see 32 up. And it goes down. There's a support line, looks like around 28 and 30. So it's about 20 down and about 32 up. So not great risk-reward profile from that weekly view. If we look at the monthly, again, we see very similar. It was running up along this trend line and bouncing off that as support. Ran up for a while. Back in 2021, mid 21, it looks like it peaked, and it looks like it's been in decline to there, and now it is approaching again its long-term moving average on a monthly chart. So that's a 50-month moving average. So again, it looks like eBay's kind of at a critical point. Is it going to bounce off of that moving average line and go back up, or is it going to break down further? Down to the support line. So okay, let's look at their technical analysis information in ChartMill. We can see it has a technical rating of 0, so very poor right now. It's bad performer and overall right now. It's part of internet and direct marketing. It outperforms 87% of the other stocks currently in that segment. It has good volume, so good liquidity. We can see a support level around the 44 area. And it looks like there's a resistance around 61. There's a resistance around 47 from a trend line. And then another zone at 48. And then at 55 and 60. So it's got a lot of overhead resistance. We see the setup is poor, 4 out of 10. The price movement's been too volatile to find a nice entry or exit point. You see long-term and short-term trends are negative. has poor performance for the year, and it is currently in the lower part of its 52-week range. So again, we can see the current setup for eBay is generally poor. It's not a good entry time for a short-term swing. For even longer-term hold, the setup right now is not so great, but we'll continue to do our due diligence and see if there is a future swing opportunity or long-term hold opportunity for eBay. Okay, let's look at the fundamental analysis information in ChartMill for eBay. We see it currently has a fundamental rating of 5 out of 10, so it's right in the middle. We see its profitability is positive, so it has good profitability, 8 out of 10, good return on assets, good return on equity, good profit margins. So its profitability, it's a very profitable company, so that's a positive. Valuation is 4 out of 10, so it's a little bit overvalued. It's got good price to earnings. Forward PE is good. The negatives is its PEG ratio is a little bit high to justify its current price to earnings, and its price to book is a little high. So again, a mixture of valuation. Growth, again, 4 out of 10. We see the revenue is kind of flat. It's projected to be relatively flat. We can see the earnings per share, though, is projected to at least increase going forward, but has recently been flat. We can see earnings per share growth has been good. Other growth factors pretty average, but it's been decreasing. So we can see the revenue yearly has been decreasing. Future, it looks like the revenue decrease. Earnings per share, though, is growing. We see the health, 5 out of 10. It's got a good Altman Z, so its solvency is good. Quick ratios, etc. are okay, but it's debt to equity, so it sounds like it's got high debt. Might have more financing requirements, so that's a bit of a negative. It does pay a dividend, but it's only a 3 out of 10. So 4.4% of its earnings are spent on the dividend. It's low, but sustainable. Dividend yield of 1.99 pays less than the industry average. And in the current case, it's quite a bit below inflation. So not a great inflation hedge. We can see their dividend actually decreased. It was increasing and then recently decreased, so that's a little bit of a negative. And we can see more details there. Okay, let's look at the analyst ratings in ChartMill for eBay. Right now it's showing a 73% consensus buy. We can see a few strong buys, 6, 12 buys, mostly holds, so positive, no sells. We can see the medium price target is 61, so 28% upside opportunity. The high is 94, so 97%. The low is 48, so only 1%. So you see the mean price target is 61, above the current. Again, 28% upside. It's got 38 analysts, so it's decently covered. We can see some of the coverage has decreased a little bit over time. Hasn't changed significantly, though. So generally positive from an analyst standpoint. We see recent upgrades, downgrades, mostly it looks like maintaining, so not a lot of changes recently. So if we also look at the analyst estimates, so now let's do our due diligence on eBay and FinViz, and again I'll put the direct link to eBay's profile in FinViz in the description box below. Again, we could see a daily chart very similar to what we saw in ChartMill. We could see it's kind of in a downward trending channel. It bounced off the bottom line of that channel and then bounced up a little bit. Looks like it's approaching the top line of that channel. If we zoom out to the weekly, again, we can see it's been declining since late 2021. It's been in decline. It's below its moving averages. It recently looks like it almost tweezer bottomed and bounced, and that was positive. We could see a bottom down here in the 26 area. So from this 45, it's got about 20 down. We can see the peak up here is about 81. So maybe 35, 34, so 34 up, 21 down or so. So again, not a real great risk to reward profile right now. If we zoom out to the monthly, similarly we could see, okay, we can see like we saw in ChartMill, we see the bounce off of that trend line. It's again testing that trend line. And we can see this 30 area, this just below 30 seems to be a relatively stable support area, but it does look like it's still in decline at this time. If we look at some of the metrics, we see it looks like they're losing money, which is a negative, big negative. We can also see there's their debt, so there's a significant debt issue. Here they're showing a dividend percentage of 1.84, so they do pay a dividend, it's low. It is optionable. We see the sentiment is just neutral, in the middle, not high short, doesn't have a lot of excess outstanding shares. So if we briefly look at some of the recent news, we don't see a whole lot of positive, negative news. So if we look at some of their financials here, we can see their total revenue, it went up and then it went flat. Their earnings is at least positive. If we look at the quarterly, again, revenue's been relatively flat, did a little bit better at the end of 21 and then decreased a little bit, so that may be part of the decline. So we saw it peaked in this area, and then again its earnings per share is negative, so that's a negative. They're losing money right now, which is a negative. So let's continue our due diligence. Okay, let's continue our due diligence on eBay and Seeking Alpha. You can find the direct link to the eBay profile in Seeking Alpha in the description box below. We see the view of the chart, 1 year view of the chart. We scroll down, look at some of the analysis and some of the news. So we've got some near-term weakness, long-term strategy, buy and hold. So we've got a reference to jumping into the NFT market, so that's interesting. Although they're jumping into the NFT market just as it's starting to decline. So they've got a alliance with FedEx. Attractive, current valuation. So we look at the rating summary. We've got authors hold, quants hold, and Wall Street says buy. So as we saw, the analysts are favorable, but we see the valuation and growth are both D's, so very poor. Profitability is A+. So we look at the revenue curve. It looks like it was declining. They got a bump from the pandemic, and now it's kind of flattening out again. Quarterly revenue looks to be declining slightly. Earnings per share, again declining, maybe a little bit of a bounce back on a quarterly basis towards the end of the year. Annually, flat through 22, and then a little bump up in 23. So valuation, PE is only 12, so not excessive. The 3-year growth, it looks negative. That's not very good. Free cash flow is very positive. That's good. Profitability, high gross profit margin, which is good. Return on equity is poor. Total debt, they've got $9 billion in debt on $27 billion market cap, so they've got sufficient or significant debt. 5.6 billion in cash, so they've got a good amount of cash. Looks pretty liquid. 6 million. Looks like they just started offering a dividend as of 2019. Dividend growth looks to be increasing, so that's positive. They'll attract some level of dividend investors. Ownership, heavy institutional ownership, 92%. Wow, that's a very large institutional ownership, so it should make them, you know, pretty stable. You're not going to have quick sell-offs. We see some of the peers that they identified: DoorDash, Coupang, which is Korea, I believe, Mercado Libre is a relatively new one too, I believe. Low short interest, less than 4%. Beta is positive 1.3, so it's going to move with the market a little faster than the market. Altman Z is very positive, so no risk of insolvency issues. Balance sheet, total cash, we saw that. Cash per share, $10, pretty good. Debt, $9 billion. So their debt to equity is very high. So one of the questions in the current environment is how sensitive are they to interest rate increases? Is their debt sensitive to increased interest rates that will, you know, increase the burden of their debt on the company? Gross profit's good. Revenue, 10 billion. EPS very high, 18.5. So yeah, they generate a lot of cash flow, good cash flow. So it's good cash flowing business. Free cash flow 2.8. But again, a lot of debt, significant debt. So let's continue. Okay, let's continue our due diligence on eBay and Webull. In the stock screen of the online browser version of Webull, you can look up any stock by entering its symbol in the search box. We can see here's a long-term 5-year chart that we'll come back to of eBay. Again, at the bottom in the lower pane, you can pop this up. It's got good due diligence information. It's got a brief profile, very similar. You can look at the recent news. So, you know, top retail stock, got some CNBC stuff, again, very similar to some of the other sites, top stock, etc. So if we click over to their financials, again, I like this graphical view in Webull of the financials. It's easy to see, so we can see their income had bounced, so it improved. It's kind of peaked. It looks like it's projected to decline. They have been beating estimates, which is positive. Look at their balance sheet, again declining, and they missed estimates most recently, so that may be a reason for the recent decline in eBay's stock price. Cash flow, again, they've been missing estimates, and it's been below estimates. Possibly recovering, we'll see. The estimates have been slightly increasing. Again, it looks like they have a tendency to miss estimates, which is a risk if they're going into an earnings report. Be aware that they have a tendency to miss estimates, and that would be a negative pressure on their stock price upon their earnings reports. If we look at their income statement, again, a pretty significant decrease, went negative. That's bad. Revenue's been choppy. We saw a little bounce in Q4, but again, a decline. Operating income, again, recent declines to flat. Balance sheet, again, their assets have been declining, their liabilities declining slightly. And again, that big fall off in operating income's not good. Investing, yeah. And again, big negative in financing. See what the analysts have to say. They're saying a hold, so we've got a few buys. The majority is just a hold. We see the current price is 64. High is 90, so maybe 40, 50% up. It's very close to its low. And we see it's in this declining channel of support resistance. It looks like it's kind of bouncing up and down within that downward channel, so it looks like it's in a downward trend. So you see press releases. Here we'll see their dividends, so we can see how often they pay out dividends. So it looks like it's a quarterly dividend. We can see the dividend increases. So they paid out in March. They're paying out. The ex-dividend date is the end of May. They increased their dividends, so it looks like they're trying to attract investors through an increasing dividend. You can see it is optionable, so if you did want to hold this long term, an option to generate further cash flow from this position would be to sell covered calls against eBay. That is an option. Again, if you're looking at it for a very long-term investment, there's the option to generate further revenue in addition to their dividend by selling covered calls against it. So if we come back to the chart very briefly, we can see it was down in the 20 areas in the past. It got a boost from the pandemic, went all the way up to 80, and now it has come back to the 40s range. And it looks like it's headed back up to the support area. We saw the long-term declining channel. It's been in the steep decline. We zoom out to the 1 year. Again, we see this steady decline. We see their last earnings was on in early May. We see their ex-dividend date, etc. So it had a recent bounce, and then it looks like it was rejected from that pivot point, and from that indication, it looks like it's headed back down. We see it's done that before, been rejected off of a resistance level, and continued the downtrend. So all the technical indications is that eBay's in a downtrend. It will continue in a downtrend for the foreseeable future. So we can talk about the long-term thesis for eBay as potentially a turnaround. Are they going to get another boost like they got during the pandemic? Are they going to turn around? Is it a good long-term investment? It does pay a dividend, like we said, and it's an option to sell covered calls to generate income. But does that justify a continued decrease in the stock price? So let's talk about the potential future of eBay. And again, is this worth the long-term investment to capture their dividend and covered calls revenue? Right now, for Webull's 4th birthday anniversary, they're offering 6 free stocks when you open and fund a new account. Typically, they offer 2 or more free stocks when you open and fund an account in Webull. But again, for their birthday, their 4th anniversary birthday, Webull's offering 6 free stocks when you open and fund an account. And you can see you get 2 free stocks valued up to $300 when you open the account. Deposit any amount, and you get 4 free stocks, each valued up to $3,000. So now would be a great time to open your Webull account if you're not already a Webull user. Webull is our primary trading platform that we do the majority of trading in our accounts. So again, great opportunity. Don't know how long this will last. Again, Webull typically offers 2 or more free stocks, but right now for their 4th birthday, you can get 6 free stocks if you open and fund an account now with Webull. So we hope that all helps. You'll find our affiliate link for Webull in the description box below, at the top of our BeachBum Trading YouTube page in the little link section, also in the bottom of the About page of our YouTube channel, and also in the trading platform section of our BeachBum Trading, bumwithouttheu.com website. So we hope this all helps. Get your 6 free stocks now while you can for Webull's 4th birthday. Okay, so given all of our due diligence thus far, given all that input data, can we answer the question, is eBay a stock to buy now? So we can respond to our Discord members. Is this something we want to put in the bullpen for a long-term ad, or is eBay's heyday over? So let's see what we can answer in terms of that question. So firstly, let me tell you a little bit of the story of, as I mentioned at the beginning, I remember when eBay first came out, and I was again working with a number of internet marketers, small medium-sized business people, entrepreneurs on the internet, back in the mid-90s. I was still in Alabama at that time. And we laughed. When it first came out, it was like an auction site. Who would want to bid on a product or service, or essentially a product, when you just go buy it? Why would you want to bid and wait to see if you were going to win the bid to be able to buy the product you wanted to buy? Well, we really missed the boat back in, 95, because eBay became huge. Again, what we missed was the gamification of the buying process, and that's what eBay brought. Is they made it, entertaining, interesting, addictive for people to watch their bids to see if they were going to win the bid, to be able to buy that collectible or product, etc. So again, we laughed when it first came out. Never thought it would go anywhere. Who would want to bid on products or products to wait to see if you could buy it? And we missed that whole gamification, that whole addictive nature of eBay, and it really took off. It also allowed people, just regular people, to set up a store quickly and easily without their own website. So again, those were the reasons that eBay took off. They eventually bought PayPal, and then recently turned around and spun PayPal back off. My personal opinion, that may have been a mistake, just because having the integrated payment service was probably a benefit to them. So again, that's my perspective, experience, history with eBay. Also, we did have an e-commerce store on eBay back in the 2008-2009. You can see this is the old Twitter account for our e-commerce business, which was i-shoptheworld.com. The website's no longer up, but we still have a Twitter account. And you can see we were sourcing products from all over the world and selling them on a number of e-commerce sites, including eBay. And eBay was probably our top store at the time. So we have quite a bit of extensive experience selling on eBay as a seller. And again, it was a positive experience. That it was relatively easy to use. To set up a store, sell products. It was quite popular. So again, most of our sales in that former e-commerce business were through eBay. Now let's talk about the future of eBay. We saw in the near term, eBay is not looking very good. Doesn't look very attractive as a buy. Looks like it's in decline. We saw it had a definite bump in the pandemic. As did most of the online retailers, online e-commerce companies, and has been in pretty much steady decline since then. We can see it kind of bounced up, is probably testing that support, but it's got a significant downside. We did see it does pay a dividend. They're trying to attract investors from paying that dividend, and we saw and again, from the ChartMill ratings, we see it's very profitable, but the current setup is not real great. So from a technical analysis standpoint for a near-term swing trade, setup's not real great. The valuation isn't that great, but it is highly profitable. their growth trajectory is not real great, etc. So let's again talk about eBay as a potential long-term hold again. So as a short-term swing trade, not real great. Looks like it has potential for continued downside. The risk reward, the risk is it's sitting at 50. It could go down to 25. So that's 25 down, maybe 40 up. So again, not real positive risk reward profile at this point in time. Definitely looks like it's been in a downtrend. If it fails at that support line, continues down, it could very easily go down to this 25 range. So again, this looks like one, it's a wait and see. We can put it on our shopping list. Now, if you did want to buy and hold eBay to collect the dividends, sell covered calls against it, that would definitely be an option. But again, realize there's some significant downside, some 15, 20, 25 downside in the price, and only maybe 30, 40 upside right now. So again, not real great risk reward, but if you want to buy hold for a long-term investment, that is an option. Now let's talk about some of the pros and cons of the headwinds or tailwinds for eBay. One of the things going on, the reopening was definitely a tailwind, a headwind. Is they did so well in the pandemic. They got their run up from pandemic. Then when the reopening occurred, it declined because people quit selling, quit using eBay because they were going back to work, etc. Well, now we're headed into recession. We're starting to hear layoffs, particularly tech workers are getting laid off, jobs are being put on hold, etc. This may be a tailwind for eBay as people get laid off. If they used it, they were selling on eBay during the pandemic, they may go back to selling on eBay, and that may become their long-term gig. So we may see them get a pickup again due to the recession. Again, people are going to need to make more money, whether they get laid off, they need a secondary income due to inflation, etc. We may see a pick back up. So if we do see this turn back up, that may be a signal to go ahead and buy, looking for this upside. Again, there's not a lot of upside, but there is a potential there. Now, since '95, they've also run into a number of other major competitors. Back in '95, they were the only game in town. Since then, companies like Shopify, Etsy, etc. have come out and are more modern. Shopify is very popular. People seem to like Shopify. I hear that used more now for small business people versus eBay. eBay is great for collectibles, one-offs, that type of product. We sold retail products on it. It worked quite well back at the time, but that was 2008, 2009. Nowadays, I don't know how well people are doing, and also Amazon is very popular. And they have a lot of competition from just online selling from Amazon, plus all the Prime memberships, etc. So again, nowadays they have a lot of competition. They have Etsy for handmade, etc. Amazon, Shopify, etc. So a lot of competition. So we'll kind of have to see what happens. Again, this is a wait and see. We can put it on the shopping list, keep an eye on it, see if it does. Technical setup starts to improve. We can wait for their earnings. They have earnings coming out again on August 4th. We can see how well they perform on earnings. Again, they're trading below their moving averages, and they seem to be failing and bouncing down off their moving averages. So again, to answer our member Speculous question, we can't really say their heyday is over. They are definitely at risk from competition. It's not something we want to add to our bullpen right now, but we could put it on our shopping list for a long-term watch. Keep an eye on it, see if the technical setup improves, see how their earnings do. Again, it does offer a dividend. They may start to attract some dividend investor type investments. They do have a high institutional ownership. So again, this one's a wait and see. It's not a buy now. If you happen to be holding it, you continue to hold. There's no reason to sell right now. and you're collecting a dividend, you can sell covered calls. So again, that's our view on eBay right now. Please let us know if you have any additional information that we should reevaluate. Please let us know what you think of all this in the comments below in our Discord. We hope you'll join the discussion in our Discord. You can contact us via our social media sites, etc. Let us know what you think of eBay, what's your experience been, positive, negative, etc. And how can we improve these videos to add value to you and help you succeed in your trading career. So again, we hope this all helps. Good luck and have a great day. The content of this video was produced by BeachBum Trading. We hope you will choose to also join us in the BeachBum Trading community and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit us at our homepage at beachbumtrading.com, the bum without the U. Similarly on Twitter, BeachBum Trading, bum without the U. On Facebook and in our BeachBum Trading Facebook group. Please follow us on Pinterest and on Instagram. All of the links to our social media sites will be included in the description box below, and we hope you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Thank you. We also cordially want to invite you to our new BeachBum Trading Community Discord server, where we can have discussions on all topics related to trading, success in trading, investing, etc. You can see alerts when we make trades, changes to our watch lists, etc. So again, please join us in the new BeachBum Trading Community Discord server. You should be able to find a link in the description box below. You can also find a link in the social media category on our webpage, beachbumtrading.com, without the bum without the U, and also in the link section on the About page of our YouTube channel, etc. So again, we look forward to seeing you in the BeachBum Trading Community Discord server soon. Wave and say hello. Thank you again for watching our video. We hope that you liked it. If so, please smash the like button, give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. Please share this video with your fellow traders and friends. And please give us your feedback and any recommendations for improvement in the comments section below. And let us know what else we can do to help you in your trading career. Thank you again. Good luck and have a great trading day. If you like this video, we hope you will choose to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the box in the upper left-hand corner. You can watch another video like this by clicking on the box in the lower right-hand corner. And we have a whole playlist of videos like this that you can access via the box in the upper right-hand corner. Our latest video is available in the box in the lower left-hand corner. We hope you like this and have a great day.